Good morning, students. Today we will study angle, page number 173. Okay, so first of all, what is angle? An angle is a figure formed by two rays meeting at a common endpoint. It means two rays means we know that rays means one has the endpoint and another side it will be endless. Okay, and it is the combination of two rays means when and they have the common endpoint means this part is your endpoint and this is not endpoint, it is endless. Okay, this is the endless part. So here if another ray which name, suppose this ray's name is AB, another ray whose name is suppose AC, so this A will here and C is here, and these two rays have the common point. Okay, and when these two rays starting from the same point, okay, and when they have starting from the same point they are forming some angle, this is called the angle. Okay, this is called the angle. Okay, this is your angle and we can denote the angle by the sign like this. Okay, so if I want to write this angle, you can write angle B, this is the name of B, and where is the angle is forming A, so that should be at the middle part. Okay, that should be at the middle. Okay, here is the angle is forming A and now last is the C, so we can write angle BAC. This is the style, this is the way to write the name of the angle. Okay, or simply you can write the angle A also. Okay, this is another method to write the name. So only the where angle is forming, so you can write like this angle A, or you can write like this angle BAC. Okay, both are correct. Okay, now let's see here. And also this part is called arms of the angle. Okay, these two are the arms. Okay, and this particular point where these two rays is been originated, from where it is started, this is called vertex. This is called the vertex. Okay, this is called the vertex. Okay, and these two are the arms of the angle. Now the common endpoint is called the vertex. Okay, as I told, and angle and two rays called the arms of the angle. Okay, you can see some examples, you can see over the examples are here. Suppose on this ladder there is the angle is forming here. Here you can see the angle is forming. When this boy is sitting, some angles is also forming with the leg. Also on this hut you can see, on the shelter of this you can see the roof of this hut, you can see here angle is forming. Here is also between the two arms of the fan, you can see. Okay, so likewise these are the examples for the angle. Okay, now there are some methods you can name the angle in three ways. Okay, so there are the naming of the way how to name the angles, you can see here. Okay, you can name the angle in three ways. The first one is that using a three letter name. Okay, in order a point on one ray, vertex and on one endpoint. Okay, like this, the first method example BAC, as I told that you have to start from here like B, this is the BAC. So this is the one style. Another method of writing, the using only one letter. Suppose this angle I have to show, so only you have to write the angle A, like this angle A. Okay, and the third one is that writing a number within the rays of the angle and naming angle using the number. So another method is just same like the second method. What is that? Only we are mentioning the number like angle 1, angle 2, angle 3. Suppose we have the many angles like this. Okay, so we can write like this angle 1, angle 2 or angle 3. So you can say this is angle 1, this is the angle 2, this is the angle 3. Okay, suppose this is A, B, C. Okay, so you can write also like this angle A, angle B, this is for the angle C. Or you can write the naming also angle BAC, angle BAC. For this also you can write ACB. For this also you can write CBA. Okay, so these are the methods for the writing the angles. Okay, so there are total three ways, there are three methods, the three way of writing the angles, that these are the three. Okay, now interior and exterior of an angle. Interior and exterior means the points or the region which is inside the this arm, okay, inside the arm. So this particular all we will call the interior, which is the inside, and which is the, and those are the outside of this angle, okay, outside of these two arms. So this regions is called the exterior. Only this is the interior and exterior. Okay, got it? Okay, now here is the some exercise. This classwork exercise is there, so you can do by yourself. Try it. Okay, try by yourself. Now we will study measurement of angles. Okay, so measurement of angle is that how we will measure the angle. Suppose some angles it is given, so how we will measure it. Okay, so measurement of angle is about like that. So how we will measure it? Okay, so for the first of all, what we have to think, angle as an amount of turning or rotation. What is angle? Angle is an amount of turning or rotation. Means how much it is turned. Suppose in the clock you can see there is the hour hand and the minute hand. So means every time it is turning, it is changing. Suppose now like this, sometimes like this, sometimes also like this. So this angles is always changing between the arms of the clock hand and the hour hand. Okay, so by how much it is turning in the different, so that it means at the different time, so there will be the different angles. Okay, so we will measure that angles. Okay, so now first of all you see here, so how we will measure the angles? So we can measure the angle by the help of the protractor. We can measure the angle by the help of the protractor. Okay, so first of all here we will study about the clock. Okay, in the clock you will see that this all this hour hand and minute hand, okay, rotating which side. So clock, first of all we will study about the clockwise and anti-clockwise. Okay, so this is the you should know about this clockwise and anti-clockwise. Okay, so clockwise means that the direction, in which direction clock, our hand, our second hand is moving, that is called clockwise. Means you have seen that in your clock all the hands is moving in this way, all are moving like this, our hand, minute hand also in this way. So this the when they are moving in this direction means they are coming from left to right. Okay, means in this direction they are moving. So this type of movement is called the clockwise. This type of movement is called clockwise. Okay, and if in another clock, or like in another instrument or another uh, machine, if their equipment is moving opposite of this, opposite means they are moving from right to left, like this move they are moving. So this is called the anti-clockwise movement. This type of the movement is called the anti-clockwise. Okay, so this is anti means opposite of the opposite movement of the clock. So these are the called the anti-clockwise. Okay, so likewise you can see this is the given. So this is the anti-clockwise, it is like this. So this is the clockwise. Okay, you can see, so that we should have to know. Okay, so the movement, so if the movement is like this is the anti-clockwise. If the movement is like this is the clockwise. So to remember, like to this is the clockwise, so it will move like this. Okay, if it is anti-clockwise it will move like this. Okay, now you can see here in this clock, if the this clock, all these spokes, if you divide, okay, in the equal parts. Okay, so they have divided the clock in equal parts by the 360 parts. Okay, full clocks, okay, full this clock is divided into how many parts? 360 parts. Okay, so that's why we can say that a complete angle, this 360 is called the complete angle. This is called the complete angle also. Okay, this is called the complete angle. Complete angle means this full angle. If this is the full angle, if you measure it from here to here, it is coming from here to again from here. So this all from this you will measure this the angle. What is the angle from to here till here, from here to here, this is the angle of 360 degree. Okay, this complete angle is of the 360 degree. Okay, and now you can see here, in one complete rotation is divided into how many parts? 360 equal parts. You can see here how many equal parts they have divided. See it. Yeah, here you can see this, all these are divided into how many parts. If you divide it, it will be the 360 parts. Total how many equal parts? 360 parts. And the one part says that AOB means the this one part, this one portion only, this part is of the 1 degree. This is the 1 degree, and you can see this is 1, and the sign of degree is just a small zero over there. Okay, just over this small, this is the sign of the degree, this is the sign of the degree. Okay, so this is the 1 degree. Got it? Like you can measure the 15 degree, 70 degree. So you can see, as your angle will be increased, the size of this arm, the difference between the arms will be increased. 15 degree, their difference is less. 30 degree, 70 degree, so it will be keep on going, and it will be increased. Okay, so this is about the clock and how it is divided. So this complete angle is divided, the complete rotation is of the 360 degree. Okay, complete rotation means this one the complete rotation, and this is of the 360 degree. Okay, now next you can see here, yeah, some examples. If a circle divided into 40 equal parts, okay, so it means what will be the measurement of an angle of each part. Okay, so how many parts it is divided? 340 parts. So we know that this angle, full this rotation is 360 degree, and it is divided into how many parts? Total 40 parts. So you can divide by 40. Okay, so you will get the 9 degree. It means the between the each gap there, the angle will be the 9 degree. Okay, similarly for the calculate the angle neighboring spokes on the wheel. So it is already given. Okay, this picture is given, and you have to find out what is the angle. So you can see how many parts it is divided in, how many parts. You can see here in how many parts it is divided. Total 4 parts. It means 360 divided by 4. Okay, so you will get 90 degree. Similarly, how many parts? 3 parts, so divide by 3. How many parts are here? Here check it. 1 2 3 4 5 6 parts. Okay, so you can divide 360 by 6, so you will get 60 degree. So each, so 60 degree means what? So this angle will be the 60 degree, and this angle also 60, this is the also 60. And okay, and whenever you will add 60 degree angle for the 6 times, so you will get again 360 degree. Okay, so this is for the clock. And if you divide the this circle or this complete angle in how many parts, and how angle will be formed. Now next, how to measure. Okay, so there are some class works again, so do it by yourself, this one. Okay, now how to measure the angle by the help of protractor. So first of all, we should know about the protractor. Measuring an angle, the instrument for measuring angle is called protractor. Okay, so what it is called? It is called protractor. Okay, and you have seen it in your geometry box, it is available. Okay, this instrument you will get in your geometry box. The diagram of right, so this is the protractor, and it has the shape of semicircle. Which type of shape it is? The semicircle. Okay, and the angle at the center is divided into how many parts? 180 parts. This full, you can see that it is divided into how many parts? 180. You can see it is started from 0 and end with the 0. Maximum is the 180, minimum is 100, minimum is 0. Okay, so it is divided. And now you can see there are two scale. Outer scale means, this outer scale means, you can see this the outer line, this outer scale, this is your outer scale. Okay, this is your outer scale. Now next is your inner. Okay, inner means, you can check that inner means this inside one. Here is the inner scale, so you can see it is started from here. Okay, so inner scale is always moving in which direction? Anti-clockwise. This inner will always move in this direction. Okay, and it is started, inner means that is the inside. Outer scale will always move, outer scale will move like this. Okay, from left to right, and this is the outside. Okay, so it will be depend which side of angle we are measuring. Okay, so you will also understand about this when we are using inner scale and outer scale. Okay, and also you should know this point is called the center mark. This is this point is your center mark, and this is the zero line for the outer scale, and this is the zero line for the inner scale. Okay, so always you have to place, whenever you will measure or when you will construct the angle, this zero line should with that. Okay, this is the baseline actually. The inner scale of the protector is marked 0 to 180, and which direction? Anti-clockwise. Okay, as I told that inner scale anti-clockwise. The outer scale of protector marked 0 to 180 again, and it is the clockwise, you can see. And each small division is of the 1 degree, means there these small divisions are there. So each small division is the of the 1 degree, which the 1 degree. Got it? Now let's see the first example, how to measure it. Suppose this angle we have to measure. So what you have to do, you have to, this first of all, this is the point. So this point you have to place on here. Okay, and always you have to see this line is there. This line is always here, is you have to place this line of the protector over here, means this line means the zero line of the scale. This one you can see, zero line of the protector, this one zero line of the inner scale, this always you have to put there. Okay, so here first of all you have to place your protector over here, and you should completely cover it. Okay, then you will see we have to measure this angle. This angle means this is your baseline, and you have to start from here. Okay, from here to here we will measure. So which direction we are going? You can see that we are going to the anti-clockwise. It means we will use the inner scale, means this scale we will use, because 0 is from here, 0 to we will measure it. So starting from 0, and where it goes, you can see it reach up to the 70 degree. So it means it is a 70-degree angle. We will not take the outer one because it is a 180. It is decreasing. We will not take this one. We will take the inner one. From always we will take that from where it is started. So always starting point will be the 0. So from there we will take it. Okay. Suppose this, if suppose the angle is like this. Okay. If the example angle is like this. Okay. And we have to measure the angle, this angle. So this side we will place over this, the same side, this side we'll place the here, and this center will be the here, and we will measure from here, means we will counting from 0 to here. Okay, so this scale we will use, means outer scale we will use. Okay, in this way we will do it. Understood? And now one more thing, the one extra thing you should know about the reflex angle. To measure the reflex angle, which is the greater than 180. Suppose sometimes you will get the angle which is greater than 180. Sometimes you will get the angle which is greater than 180 and less than the 360. Okay, so this type of angle is called, this is your reflex angle. Which angle? Reflex angle. Okay, so what is the reflex angle? The angle between 180 and 360, means the angle will be greater than 180 and it will be less than 360. So that type of angle is called reflex angle. So for that, don't worry, what you have to do, first of all you have to measure the, as you are measuring. Okay, suppose here this angle is we have to measure. Okay, so this is the more than 180. So first of all what you will do, simply you put your protector over here. Either you can take this side, your base part. Okay, that is called the zero line of the inner scale. You can take either this side or this side. Okay, then after you can take according to inner scale or outer scale, you measure this angle. Whenever you will measure this angle, whatever the angle you will find, suppose you found it, this is the 70-degree angle. Okay, let it, suppose 70 degree. Then now we have to find this angle. So what we will do, this is your 70 degree. Now to find the reflex angle, so you have to write like this, reflex angle equals to, and what you will do, you have to subtract in 360, and whatever the angle you got, you just subtract it. Okay, and you can subtract, it. Okay, and you will get the reflex angle. Okay, so you will have, this is the 290, so it is the more than 180 and less than 360. So this is your reflex angle. Okay, so reflex angle will always greater than 180 and less than 360. Got it? Yeah, let's see here. Now we will do the exercise 11b. Next we have the exercise 11b. In this you have to measure the angle and write this value. So already it is given on the protector. You can see this angle we have to measure, this angle. So already you can see that this angle we have to measure. So it means we will start from here. So outer scale we will take, outer scale means this scale we will take, this one outer scale, this scale we will take, and see that up to where it went, it goes to the 100. So this angle will be 100 degree. degree sign is already there. You know that this is the degree sign. Here you can see it is started from 0, and this angle we have to measure, means outer scale we will take, and up to where it reach 140. Okay, so likewise you can see and do. Okay, here you can see it is started from where, it started from the 0, means this. Okay, and which side outer scale we will take, see this, and where it up to reach 130. Now but it is not exactly on 130, it is between the 140 and 130. It means it is the between that, it is the difference of 5. Okay, so 130 and plus this is the 5, because between it, so 135, so you can write 135 degree. Okay, so likewise you can see it. Okay, now next question number 2, use your protractor to measure these angles. Now you have to measure the angles by using the protractor. So how you will measure? Simply your vertex, the 0 point, this 0 of your scale. Okay, scale means your center of your protractor, you put it here, and the 0 line of inner scale you just place over here exactly, and see that what is the angle. So likewise you can measure the all these given angles and write the values. Okay.